This is what is called a chulpa tower at Silustani near Lake Titicaca. It was built by the Wari culture prior to the arrival of the Inca, and this is where someone or several people were buried because we found bones inside. However, this above is another chulpa tower. Conventional archaeology says that this was built after by the Inca culture. However, we have evidence that this is actually much older than this one, and that this is an attempt to replicate the look of that. So what we're going to see is this is one of many places where conventional archaeology has got the entire story backwards and wrong. Because what we are witnessing is the finest construction is the oldest, the more recent is the more primitive. Whereas conventional archaeology teaches us in history that we are a evolving being going solely from the primitive to the advanced. But the true fact is that societies rise, societies fall. Rise again and fall. Technology is learned, it is enhanced, then it collapses as the society collapses, the knowledge disappears, and is sometimes
So Peter's going to show us what happens when you move a compass away from the building. You can see that it's twitching. And then back in again, please. So there definitely seems to be a magnetic anomaly of some kind going on here, suggesting that these towers were not funeral towers, but they had an energetic function. So what you're looking at is a chulpa tower where half of it has been removed. Now most people are going to say that it was the the Spanish who did that they were tearing it apart for construction, but it's more likely, having been here many times, that actually this is a sign of an ancient explosion, that these were sonic resonating towers, and that there was an action that happened thousands of years ago that caused it, at least the outer part, to explode and to throw the exterior off in this direction. Now the explosion seems to have happened from east or east-northeast out this way, but we're going to test with other ones and see if that's the case. The outer area is made out of basalt, but the inner core is made out of a diorite or andesite material. The andesite is much denser than the exterior, and this clay possibly was some kind of insulating material. So rather than this being a funeral tower, this could have in fact been an ancient energy generator or storage devices. So you see this one, it's been recreated. Maybe half of it was intact. And so foolishly they've added this clay to fill in. This was done 2 years ago. But the cracks are evidence of something more than simply weight on top of weight. This one seems to resonate again to A sharp, and it causes actually the interior to really vibrate. Your body vibrates as well when you're inside. Another curious thing about these towers is that they taper upwards. They get wider as you go up, which is not a smart building practice in the modern day, the way we build buildings. Also the band that's around it, and you can see at the very top the way that it curves in. Oops, like that. So Christopher Dunn, the engineer, has a theory that these possibly were like pipes, or that the energy or sound was coming upwards. And his idea, I believe, is that these were actual earthquake or energy relieving chambers to reduce the chance of
So
earthquake.
Charles, you were inside one of these, actually this one on
Yeah.
the right. And could you tell me what was happening with the dowsing rods that were in there with you?
Maxine was using the dowsing rods, and it was spinning in a clockwise direction, not too fast and not too slow. There was three of us trying different tones while we were in there. Inside, there's almost like a spiral rock protrusion of stairway leading to the top, or almost to the top, and it looks like there's a square hatch right in the middle at the top. And so that much of it must be hollow, or there must be something in there, because I mean it looks like a stone door. It's a door, square door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So what you're looking at now is the debris field from a massive square one, which is here. So again, it's unlikely that this was manually taken apart, but could have been the result of a massive explosion in the distant past. If these were energy structures, capacitors, or generators, the system could have overloaded at some point, and then the whole thing, or the whole series, exploded to different degrees.